I broke lots of things. I don't even remember the ones, but especially my face a lot, my legs, my arm. I've been carrying a big injury in my shoulder for so many years. But the worst definitely was when I was very young and I got hit by a mallet on top of my eye, and part of my forehead was completely destroyed, like into pieces, the bone. So I had a surgery, they cleaned everything up. I spent like 4 or 5 months with nothing, no bone, just the skin. That I talked to my mother. I was 10 years old and I said, I think I'm gonna quit polo. Since I remember, I play polo, I stick and ball. I don't remember when was the first time I got on a horse and I was already hitting a ball. I was very young back then and I always liked it, but at the beginning nobody pushed me to do it, and as I said, I always liked competing and playing different sports. Polo was one of them. When I became older and I was already playing more, not professionally, but I was taking the sport more serious, then I realized that it was going to be my thing for the future, you know. Just to criticize the sport a bit, let's say, I think we're a little bit behind in terms of security with helmets and different things. Of course, when you play football, when you play golf, when you play some sports, the worst that can happen to you is break a leg or something. But with polo, you can get hit with the ball that travels nearly 230 kilometers per hour. Then you can fall off from a horse going at 60 kilometers per hour. You can be crushed by another horse during the field. We go very close, one horse to each other, and sometimes if you turn to the wrong place or you didn't see somebody coming, you can be crushed or you can crush somebody else. So many things can happen, and things happen so quickly that sometimes are difficult to control. Being hit by the mallet as well is another thing. Sometimes when you swing or somebody else swing and you're close, they can hit you really hard anywhere in your body.
Pablo, Donough.
Well, that day I was a bit unlucky. I was about to receive a pass, and the pass was short, and the opponent took the ball and turned right. The moment I tried to come close to him and I was behind him, he missed the ball and he made another swing and tried to hit the ball again. And in that moment, he hit the head of my horse. So my horse fainted. So from 1 second to the other, the horse went down. My first reaction when I fall was to stand up quickly, and the moment I stood up, then the horse recovered. It went down, but stood up, and I was right there in the middle of the way. So it was kind of the horse riding me instead of the other way around. When you get to the field and you play, I give you the example of the Argentine Open. When you go out there and you have the people watching, especially in a final, you forget who you are, you just want to win. And polo gets as well, you get the adrenaline of being on a horse. It's a bit of a lifestyle as well, because you have to dedicate a lot of time to the horse. It's not only about me, it's about how the horse can perform. So it's a combination of so many things. But if I have to say why I like so much polo, is because right now it gives me a huge chance of competing and doing something I like every day. I was playing in England with Prince Bahar from Brunei, and we went out for a good dinner. That was the first time I met Richard, and it was very like you go to a dinner where you know the person for such a long time. It was only the very first time. So all the people in Richard Mille, it's like a big family. And I always felt like whatever I was doing with them was something nice and easy and with no effort. I was always so happy to be around the brand, doing things with the brand, because personally I like watches a lot. I always like watches. So it's a bit of a privilege, and how lucky I am to be linked to or a friend of the brand which is always around. I used to have some other watches before, and the moment of course I started wearing Richard Mille, then it's very difficult when you see another watch to find something interesting about other watches. I was so happy the very first time I saw the watch in 2012 at the fair, and it was very impressive how strong the watch is. It was hidden by a ball, by a mallet, by a stirrup, by another horse. And every time I felt like something hit the watch, and I said, I shouldn't check the watch because I'm sure this time the watch is destroyed. And you have a look at it, and it's still there with probably a few more scratches, but everything is exactly the same and still works perfect after 6 years. Sometimes I wear some other pieces from Richard Mille, but always get back to the 53 is the one I like the most.